What do people think of when Stark is introduced in Frieren? That he's a coward? Overpowered? Those thoughts make perfect sense. Watching Frieren again now, I think of mentorship, which is weird because being a teacher wasn't exactly on the bingo card of qualities I'd use to describe Frieren. I usually imagine someone old and bald with a long-ass beard, but it got me thinking, what even makes a good teacher? I've had bad teachers, plenty actually, but the ones I remembered down the line all had one commonality. They seemed to care about my growth. I had a professor once pull me aside after class and tell me he thought I should minor in writing. And he said it so casually, like it was the most natural thing in the world. I kind of brushed it off at the time, but even to this day, I still find myself wondering, what did he see in me? Because I never thought of myself as a particularly good writer. So it's strange that Frieren made me remember him. Frieren is someone that seems more detached than invested in people. She's an independent elf who spent most of her life indulging in her own passions. Half the time, Fern has to practically mother Frieren even though she's like a 60th of her age. If anything, Frieren can be kind of harsh. She drills into Fern the importance of defensive magic. And when Fern asks why, the answer is basically, trust me bro, this is important. This reminds me of math class. I can't remember 95% of what I learned in school. But if I ever have a practical use for something, like needing to build a catapult to launch a boulder into my neighbor's chimney, suddenly Pythagorean's theorem will become very relevant. That's what happens with Fern. Frieren doesn't always explain why. She just expects her students to learn it, and then she trusts them to use it. Like during the encounter with the Einsam monster. That brief moment with the monster that manipulates your most beloved memories before feeding on you. Frieren already warned Fern about it before they ventured out. So when Fern encounters it, Frieren waits. She watches to see if Fern can overcome it herself. And when she sees that Fern can't, she steps in. That's what struck me. Frieren gives her students room to think for themselves, to make decisions. Even failing is part of the process, but failing isn't a big deal. She doesn't ridicule them for it. She just treats the moment as what it is, a lesson. It seems cold at first. She doesn't offer words of encouragement, but that's also why it works. Frieren trusts her students to be capable before they've fully proven it. Okay. But all of this evidence doesn't exactly mean Frieren is a great teacher. Fern's got insane work ethic and is already innately gifted. She would have been golden regardless. But Stark presents a different challenge. He's not exactly weaker than Fern. He's oddly just as insanely strong. The difference is that Fern trusts what Frieren teaches. Stark doesn't even trust himself. The village sees him as a hero for fending off a dragon. He sees himself as a coward who got lucky, and he's strong enough to take down a dragon in one strike. Eisen, a legendary warrior, even recommends him as his successor. It's almost impressive how badly Stark misreads himself. Every piece of evidence points one way, and he manages to interpret it the other way. Because of that, he's deeply ashamed that he fled from Eisen. He sees himself as a disappointment. Meanwhile, Eisen is deeply proud of him. That's what makes Frieren's reaction interesting. Eisen's recommendation alone is already enough for her. Seeing the ravine split apart from Stark's training confirms it. She doesn't spend months trying to convince Stark that he's strong, so she gives him only a day to decide to beat the dragon. When the dragon attacks, she mostly just watches. The same way she does with Fern. Because from Frieren's perspective, there isn't really a question of whether Stark can do it. She already sees the evidence. The teaching moment isn't teaching him anything new. It's forcing him to make a choice, to move despite his fear. Despite all the stories Stark tells himself, he rises to the challenge. I think Stark may be such a sticky character for me for that very reason. He's strong and kind. He doesn't see that about himself, but other people do, and sometimes that's enough. enough to take one step forward, enough to protect people even when he's terrified. And for some reason, that made me think about a professor I had years ago. I know the essays that I handed in were not that great. At least, I didn't think they were. But he gave me an A on every essay I had written in that class. That honestly kinda bothered me. A free A? I'd take that any day. But it just felt like he was really seeing something that I couldn't. Or maybe I just refused to. He made me want to try harder. Like I had to earn those A's. Like I had to justify whatever it was that he thought he saw. It's weird because I've always enjoyed writing. I just never thought it was something worth taking seriously. I got C's on essays and was bored out of my mind in most English classes. So in my head, I wasn't a writer. A writer is supposed to be good at writing, right? I just happen to enjoy it. That might be why I still think about it, because he seemed to be pointing at something that was already there. To this day, I still don't know what he saw. Maybe he saw potential. Maybe he was just being encouraging. Maybe he was threatened to convince someone to minor in writing, otherwise he'd be fired. I don't know, man, but he wasn't exactly wrong. The times I feel most alive are usually when I'm exploring something on the page. Hours pass and I forget to eat lunch. When I'm chasing ideas, racking my brain just to get some words out, then erasing all of it. It doesn't sound fun when I put it like that, but I continue to write anyway. Maybe that's what makes a good teacher. They don't always make you believe in yourself. Sometimes they just believe something about you long before you're ready to. And if you're lucky, you might get to see what they saw. Unless they were delusional.